Across the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the booming heavens roar, you'll behold in breathless wonder the god of thunder, mighty Thor!
Hey true believers, it's Rob coming at you with a new video, and this video is actually going to be for a video I've done in a long time, and quite a bit of stuff that I accumulated over the past, well, most of this stuff is recent, but there's a couple of things that are a little older, but it's my comic book haul for the first one of January. I'm not sure how many more I'm making this particular month, but just want to show you guys what I picked up this January, some cool stuff, and it's mostly comic books, some magazines, and I'm not sure of any more random stuff, but as for now, it's just comic books and magazines, so we'll just go ahead and get this video started. Alright. Okay, we'll go ahead and start with the Marvel's Star Wars Shadow Empire. This is issues 2, 3, and 4. This is pretty much a continuation of Return of the Jedi, what happens right after the Return of the Jedi. The story pretty much focuses on this particular young lady here. I'm not sure I pronounced her name right. It's Sahara? I don't know, around something like that. And just follows her around in the story, and she interacts with all the main characters in the films. And this is pretty much what literally happens right after Return of the Jedi. And it pretty much ends a particular, not too much after Return of the Jedi, and I wasn't really explaining anymore. I guess you gotta buy the book. The name of the book. There's a book out that explains what happened from Return to Force Awakens. So well, there you go. So I picked up the number 2, number 3, and number 4. I already had number 1, so okay, dope. Next up for Marvel as well, it's Secret Wars issues number 6, 7, 8, and 9. This one actually just came out this particular week, and overall, just short, sweet review. I love this story. It was a great way to end a lot of things that have been leading up to this point for the past, I don't know, several years actually, maybe 3-4 years. My viewpoint, it all kind of started with kind of Civil War back in 06, and it kind of continued on up to this point where it starts fresh, and this is the ending of that particular world and all that stuff, all that history that's happened. It's supposed to be the end of the whole Marvel history and started anew, kind of, not totally, but because the events and this particular story refreshes a lot of things. I'm not going to go into more detail. I don't want to spoil it for people because it's still a pretty fresh story. The art is amazing, really good. Love the cover art. Love this cover. Thanos fighting off Marvel zombies. Everybody jumping Doctor Doom. The giant thing versus Galactus. And the finale here with Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom. It's a pretty crazy story. I pretty much come to the conclusion that this particular issue would be the last individual Marvel issue that I'm going to buy, at least for a long time. Not a while, a long time probably. Because it kind of wraps up everything really nicely to me. Not excited on the direction that Marvel's heading towards. I don't know if I said it before in another video, but it feels like Disney's marketing team has got a hold of Marvel Comics and decide what's young and hip, and let's make all our characters young and hip. That's the vibe I get from the particular route they're taking. So I'm not very excited. I'm a little more actually for once more interested in what DC's doing, in particular in one series, and I'll show you in a minute. But I think from this point on, never buy any Marvel stuff, vintage stuff, or graphic novels. So So I'm not sure when will be the next like single issue I buy from Marvel. So, but love this story, great story, love the art, and I highly recommend. If you're a Marvel fan or a comic book in general. Next up, we got some stuff from DC here, and it's obviously, as you can see, Justice League, the Darkseid Wars, and it's issues 43 through 47, but it's Darkseid Wars Part 3, 4, 5. This is the monster cover. This was a monster month. There you go, variant cover for October. 6, and more recently, Part 7. And the story is pretty epic. It's pretty awesome. I hope they never make it into a movie, honestly, because they can never do it just what the comic books do. I think, in my opinion, it would have to be like Lord of the Rings type of trilogy. So this particular story I highly recommend. I believe it's, like I said, it was pretty epic. The art is great. It's awesome. This is the creative team right there. John Fabok and Anderson. And this one a little different on the artist. But it ends with the original crew here on the. I believe this one kind of concludes the story in a way, but I'm not sure. It kind of leaves it as it open, so I'm not sure they're going to continue calling it a Darkseid Wars in parts, 8, 9, whatever. But this kind of ends the story nicely in a way, but not. It's kind of hard to explain. You got to read the story to really see it. But it's pretty awesome. As for DC, for me as well, I stopped buying Batman, Masters of the Universe. So this is the last one I've been buying, and if they continue this particular story, I might continue buying individual comics. Otherwise, I think for me this is the end as well for DC. I'm gonna just buy graphic novels and vintage stuff, and just keep up with that. And that's the way I'm gonna enjoy my comics from now on. Just do it that particular way. I don't know. It's just the way I feel now. The way I want to do it. So. Plus, they take up less space. Comic books take up a lot of space, so I'm pretty happy with this. I do have some more stuff here I want to show you guys real quick, and we'll go up to that. And finally, my magazines that I picked up lately. As you can see, mostly Star Wars and Star Trek magazine. It's pretty much what I like to pick up. I've been kind of hit and miss. I haven't picked them all up. I don't buy them consecutively. Star Trek's kind of easy because they don't do them a lot. They do them bi-monthly or seasonal. Typically seasonal, and nowadays they might pick up again with the new film coming up. So they might start doing bi-monthly or monthly. Just start with Star Trek here real quick. I did here's the Leonard Nimoy edition. I showed the last one that passed away. It actually came out in summer 2015. I'm not even sure if I put this in a video before or not, but I just want to show it real quick. I'm not going to really focus on that one. This one's definitely newer. I picked this up recently. This is a fall of 20. It's summer, and this is fall of 2015. Price range is about $10. If you're a Star Trek fan, this is a must get. I think it really keeps you up to date what's going on with Star Trek, all the new stuff. It delves into old topics and big articles and stuff. It's really awesome. And same for this Star Wars magazine. It looks like this one is August, September. Obviously I missed October because it's November and December. And then they have a January for the newest one. I might have shown this one in the past, I'm not sure, so I'm not going to really focus on this one. I'll focus most on these two right here. This is focuses really on Battlefront because it came out during the period when the game came out. I do have the game, haven't played it much, but it's November, December, and it really just focuses on the game and other things here and there on Star Wars. but pretty awesome issue. And this was completely just focused on Force Awakens, and they had two particular covers. They had the First Order cover and then the Rebel Alliance, I guess they call them, whatever, the Republic cover. But of course, this was a much cooler cover. Definitely really detailed magazine on Star Wars. I think for a Star Wars fan, it's a must buy. I love magazines. I'm an older guy, so magazines are part of my blood. I know a lot of younger kids don't even. I don't think might have ever bought a magazine in their life, but for me, this is a really cool way to preserve moments in time. So. And actually, there is one more particular issue that I bought a little bit while back, but I never really put it on video here. And it's the Star Wars Intimate Weekly issue. And let's see what time period this is. Okay, here you go. November 20th to 27th. So it's a little over a month and a half old already, but it's a pretty cool cover. I love that it was a focus on Force Awakens, and I've seen the film already twice. So there you go. Just want to show that real quick. It's just basic Intimate Weekly issue, and there's some articles on the film and stuff like that. They have multiple covers, and for this particular cover, I thought was the best cover with 3PO and R2. So I picked that one up. So that's that. I should have some more videos coming up. In particular, I did buy some new Black Series stuff, so there should be a video coming up on that. That's all pretty much I gotta say. This is my comic book haul and magazine pickups for a while. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, keep on being triple Eers, keep on collecting. See you later. Bye.